Hello there. Oh, this is not really set up properly. Okay, well, we're working on it. Hey, what's going on, guys? It has been a very busy day. Okay, so let's get right into the build because I would love to actually finish this thing today. But as you can see, here we got this is what we finished up last. Well, I didn't finish both arms during the last stream. I had to finish the second arm off camera, so both arms are finished. And we've got the long tail here. I did also finish up the guns on the tail. If you guys saw part 2, you saw that I was missing a couple of parts there that were at home. I had left at home, so grabbed those, finished up the turrets there on the tail. And I'm going to go ahead and set this over here because it's just not gonna fit. The build's getting quite large, and we're gonna start off on the legs so we can finish the main body, and then we'll build the cannons. So the cannons were a separate set, just as a reminder to you guys. But yeah, I thought if we're gonna do this thing, we're gonna do it all out and do the cannons too. So, all right, are you ever gonna get the perfect grade Ava Unit 1? Probably not. I mean, many years ago, of course, it was something that I was surely interested in. Like anybody who's kind of new to the hobby, I feel like that's one, especially like for a couple of reasons, knowing that like you kind of have this image in your head that like perfect grades, like top tier models. And let's see. And if you're an Evangelion fan, you're thinking like, wow, this is like a awesome, like huge, big Evangelion model kit that I can get. I feel like that's a thought that a lot of people have, right? But yeah, of course, if you know anything about that particular model, you know that it's not a very enjoyable model, I guess, maybe we could say. But I mean, to be fair, I've not ever built it. So, for the sheer experience of just being able to say that I've built it and I've had the experience of building it, it would certainly be interesting, I guess, just for the fact that it is unique. But yeah, it's not necessarily high on my most wanted list. But, if the opportunity arises that I'm able to get one and build it, then, I mean, I wouldn't be against it. But yeah, I don't want it necessarily. Still waiting for a model kit announcement of the Soul 644 of Armor Core 6 as a 30-minute suspension kit. I don't know anything about the game, but I can only assume that we're going to get some more announcements later on. So like I said, we got a lot of stuff to build, a lot of kit to build here today. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to try to finish up here today with your guys' blessings. So thank you so much for being here. Let me tell you a little bit about the adventure. It's been over the past 24 hours. So I was planning to do this live build tomorrow. But as some of you may have seen, that our new warehouse for USA Gundam Store is finally ready for us to go move in over there. And so, where's that other part? I don't know. And so, yeah, we got to go do that. And we were supposed to be starting to move on Thursday. And so, therefore, I was planning on doing this live build tomorrow, which would be Wednesday. But we bumped up the moving day to Wednesday, so that means I'm doing this today. And I was not ready to do this today. So my thought was either, just put it off and wait, or just bust my ass to get it ready. And obviously that's what I opted to do. So yeah, the past 24 hours, basically getting all the parts ready for today's live stream, has been very busy. There's that part I was looking for. So I had all the parts all cut out, but that's it. So what I had to do yesterday oh, the camera's frozen. Okay, sorry. Okay, I can fix that. So bear with me a moment. We'll get that back on in just a second. Yeah, you can tag me on Instagram. Sure, of course. You don't need to ask that. Don't be silly. Of course you can. Yeah. So yesterday, I know that you guys can't see what's going on. Just bear with me a moment. For some reason, my capture card just like freezes sometimes. I just have to do the old unplug it and plug it back in trick. But I'll get that back on for you in a second. So yeah, yesterday I got the parts. So if you guys remember from the past 2 live stream builds of this, all the blue parts of this kit I repainted to orange, which I was about to show you, but of course I can't. Hang on. So all the blue parts for today's 3rd and final part of the build. Hopefully that gets our camera back on here. Just a second. Let's see. Oh, no, it's not on there. That's weird. Okay, there we go. All right. So anyway, yeah, all the blue parts, which needed to be repainted to orange, I did that yesterday afternoon. And then took all the parts, because like I said, I had all the parts all cut out and everything. And last night at home, I went through 30 and 40. Hang on. Went through and cut out, removed all the nubs and everything off of all the parts. So yeah, all these parts you see here. MPC 30. Where's that? So last night I was up. So I started at like around 9 when my kids went to bed, and then wasn't finished until, oh shit, I need the more polycaps. Wasn't finished until probably 1 a.m. getting all the parts ready. So it was a late night last night getting all the parts ready. And then today, basically all I've been doing all day is getting all the parts pen aligned so that we can now do the live build. So yeah, it's the other thing, if you guys remember from the first 2 parts of this live build series, one of the things that I'm doing is repainted the blue parts to orange. The other thing is doing all like the panel lining on all the parts like ahead of time. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind 24 hours. We're trying to get to where we are right now, live building this so that it can be done before all the moving madness really goes into high gear tomorrow for the start of the big move. And that, of course, is only like the main warehouse and everything. So it's going to be like all hands on deck here. Everybody's pitching in to get the move done as soon as possible. So, of course, that includes me. And so, yeah, we're going to start tomorrow. hopefully be done by Saturday. Friday would be nice, I would think. But I don't know, you know. There's a lot of stuff to move. So we'll see. Anyway. Yeah. So that's what's going on here. And a little bit of panel lining, not quite done on this part. May go back and touch that up a bit, depending on how much or how little this part ends up actually showing. Hui. So yeah, when did you transition from teaching English in Japan to starting your own business on the USA Gundam Store? Well, just to be clear on that, USA Gundam Store is not my own business, and I didn't start it, nor was I involved with starting it. More so, I mean, I was gonna say, I don't even know necessarily how early on in the business I joined, because I think when I joined, not as like a full-time employee, the business had already been around a few years, obviously. They were established enough. But when was that? It was, right at the end of 2019, which is easy to remember because it was right before COVID happened. So it's kind of good timing because, yeah, that was not a fun time to be a teacher, even in Korea at that time. I mean, the plus side, wait. The plus side is that I think the teachers probably ended up with like a lot of downtime. So I guess like time that they weren't having to be working, which I mean, that's cool. But the rest of the time was just a mess. I mean, I'm sure like, because you never know what's going on with your schedule. Like stuff was changing all the time. And do you have class or not? Like, are people dying or not? Like, it's a crazy time. Korea handled it pretty well, I will say. So, like, it was definitely much better to be there than being here. Hey, it was definitely much better to be in Korea at the time of COVID than it was to be in America. I feel like it was handled much better, in my opinion. But yeah, it was an interesting time. So it was a very advantageous time to get out of teaching and being able to do this full time. So Otaku Builder with the super chat there. Thank you so much, man. Hope you're doing well. I am doing fine. I'm excited about the build. You know, it's not about the build. Excited about this build, yeah. But also what I meant to say was about the move. You know, excited about the move, and you know, like both for the company and for myself, moving into the new space, as I mentioned in the video the other day, means new opportunities and all that. So that's all good. But nervous all the same too. I mean, because you want to make. Sorry about the clattering. Because you want to make the most of it, right? And I do want to make the most of it, which is why I made the video the other day. Do you know why your channel died? SD, are you talking about me? My channel? I'm not sure. For maybe a number of reasons, I suppose. I wouldn't grant you that it's dead by any means, but I mean, I've seen I suppose like not necessarily a drop off necessarily, or more of like certainly a plateau in recent years, but like I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. But feel free to enlighten me, SD. Hang on. Feel like this. I've heard from someone said something before that they felt that someone mentioned or commented something before saying that they felt that my channel had suffered greatly by the, I don't remember the exact word that they used, but basically by the diversification of content, in that like I was featuring more than just Gunpla. So like to their point was like by the fact that I was doing reviews on other things like Mecha Musume model kits, Machining Krieger, all this kind of other stuff other than Gunpla. In this commenter's opinion, that was bad for my channel, which probably is true to some degree, but at the same time, I mean, my channel has always been, you know, about showing stuff that I'm interested in. So, I mean, like, I can't feel too bad about showing things that I'm interested in. I mean, there's people who will not like some content, and there's other people who will like certain content. So, I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, I can say that I'm spending time sharing stuff with you guys that I'm genuinely interested in. And I don't know, that's more worthwhile to me, I feel like. But hey, I'm not getting millions of views on the other hand. That said, there probably is perfectly viable ways to show the content that I'm interested in showing and also get millions of views. I'm just not adept enough to figure that out, apparently. So I don't know. It is what it is. But I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad that you enjoy model kits of all kinds, even stuff like this giant mecha Tyrannosaurus. This leg is certainly quite beastly. YouTube is a mythical place with which none knows how it works. I mean, yeah, there's true. I mean, yeah, there's certainly ways to like. I mean, if you really want to, you can follow YouTube trends and pay attention to like what are different tips and tricks and things that people use to their advantage to gain more traction and gain more views and all this kind of stuff. I honestly just like I said, my priority is number one, my family. And I will say, going from like the very early days of my channel, when I was like in the first year that I had my YouTube channel, I also got married and had my first child that year. So I basically started from like very low responsibility. And as my channel has grown, my personal family life responsibility has also grown. As my first child has grown up, also had a second child in there as well. And so, I mean, that's something that I feel like if you're not like in the world of content creation, like from the outside looking in, it's not something that I feel like you would really notice. But I think if you are in the world of content creation and you do have experience having a family or growing a family in whatever way, it takes a toll on your ability to, be a content creator. I mean, I'm sure there's content creators out there who handle it better than others. Not that it's like, not like it's like, oh, it's so stressful, I can't do it. But I mean, like, you just can't focus in the same way. I mean, that's not even what I mean to say. It's not like it's a matter of focus either. I don't know. when when your priorities, when your at home priorities, like your family life priorities, are less, you can spend a lot of time and energy on creating content. And when your at home priorities are higher, there's less time and energy available for content creation. So anyway, yep, I feel like that probably makes sense to you guys. But anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. Hey said, I think you are still one of the top Gunpla channels. Well, hey, here's the other point that I wanted to make, that, whether, the community deems me still one of the top Gunpla content creators or not, whatever, however you would label that, I guess. And in terms of, just, I don't know, respect from people in the community, or like in terms of, just by the numbers, just in terms of views, whatever. I feel like, that doesn't seem right. Hang on. I think I've got these reversed or something. At the very least, oh, okay, no, they're just on ball joints, right? At the very least, I can say, at the very least, that I've stuck with it. I mean, no one could really say that I haven't, I haven't made a whole lot of content for the community. I mean, whether you're into it or not, whether it's, to your personal taste, whether you enjoy it, whether you find it interesting, or whatever you think about it, if nothing else, I've been consistent, and that I can feel good about. But like I said, I have, I love what I do, so it's not like it's a chore for me. Like I've always said for a long time, the biggest thing that I struggle with is just not having enough time to do all the things that I want to do. If I could, there's a lot more stuff that I would love to do here on the channel and share with you guys and all that, but it's only so much time in a day, and you have to prioritize. And anyway, let's talk about something more fun, shall we? Oh, is the camera stuck again? I don't know why that's doing that. Okay, sorry guys, hang on. Yeah, it is frozen, so I'm just gonna take that off for a minute. And here, let me tell you, here's what we're gonna do for a minute, maybe for a couple minutes. Just gonna switch to just this view, because all I'm really doing right now is I just built like one of the lower legs, and I'm just repeating that process again now, just building the other one. So you're not missing anything at the moment. Anyway, yeah. Anyone. But anyway, yeah, just before moving on, thank you again, Otaku Builder, for the super chat there. I really appreciate that. Yeah, someone ask me anything while we're here, just kind of flowing along with the build, as it's just a repeat of what we just saw, and I can just take the time, maybe just field a couple of questions from you guys. If you have any questions about anything, feel free. But yeah, so the moving is going to be starting for real tomorrow for the warehouse, and then I'm planning on like moving my office and working on that next week. And at first I wasn't planning on making like a whole bunch of like content about it. But then I saw an interesting video, which was not necessarily related, but it was actually from a J vlogger who was making a video series about searching for like getting a new apartment in Japan, and we're treating it as like a series of like, here's my goals, here's what I'm going to be searching for, and then like going through the whole process in like a number of different videos documenting the whole thing. And I thought, doing something like that could work and could be sort of interesting for the process of moving for me into a new workspace, into a new studio, office, whatever you want to call it. So I thought, okay, I'll do that. Sure, why not? You guys can see as much of the process as I can. I'll share with you guys. So yeah, next week, once I'm moving everything, I'll try to share that with you guys. So it'll probably just be like a couple of videos. Number one, just kind of like laying out my plan, and here's how I planned the plan, and then like kind of going through actually then beginning implementation of the plan, and then the second part, it may only be 2 parts. I don't know if it really warrants a third part, but at least 2 parts. Second part can basically just be like moving everything in, getting everything. Okay, well, yeah, so everything can be like getting everything moved and settled in. And then the third and final part can be, here's how it all turned out. I think that makes well enough sense. Where's that is this other part? I think we're done with polycaps for the moment. Good. All right, let's see. Let's see. I've really enjoyed Tim's sporadic studio updates. Yeah, if you guys follow Tim, you should bully him to actually work on that more. I also would enjoy to actually see that come to fruition. I know he's got other priorities and stuff going on. I don't talk to him too much these days, but every so often I kind of check in with him. Not necessarily like I'll message him or he'll message me. It'll be one way or the other. We'll message each other. Usually it's like about something unrelated, but then we'll also kind of talk about what's going on with his studio and modeling or lack of modeling. But yeah, if you guys follow the one and only Tim the Toolman, Child of Mecca, go ping him and say, hey, what's going on? What's going on with your hobby room? But, at the same time, I feel like if it was something that he was really interested in doing, then it's something that he would be working on. And by the fact that he doesn't really seem to be working on it too much, I guess it's just something that is at this moment in his life, maybe either not a high priority or just not something that he's interested in or whatever. But I remember having this conversation with another friend at one point where I had a friend, and I won't say who, but if he sees this, he may remember this conversation. And he may know that I'm talking about it or not, I don't know. So I had a friend who was kind of feeling a bit down in the fact that they didn't really have much motivation to build. It's like they had like we all do, an ever-growing backlog of kits to build, and they were just kind of feeling down about the fact that they didn't really have much motivation to actually build the stuff that they had, and just kind of weren't really too interested in the hobby, I guess, building stuff. And I mean, my advice to them was, don't feel down about that. I mean, like if you're, you should do whatever you're interested in. And if you're interested in, at the moment, what you're interested in is playing video games, then do that and just enjoy it. And if you're, sorry. And if at some point later you feel like you want to be interested in building models again, then start doing that again. So yeah, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. I was wondering, can you do a review of the Gym Type C, like the HGC kit or the Master Grade kit? I mean, I don't have either of them, and so therefore I don't have plans to review either of them. And it's not really the kind of kit that I would, search out to get just for review, especially considering that I've reviewed other similar kits that I feel like you can probably, like if for whatever reason I'm working on something in the future, like I have a project in mind using the Gym Type C, then I would want to get one for that project. But I mean, barring that, I don't really have any reason to get one. But I mean, I will keep it in mind. I mean, like I do when people ask for reviews of specific kits, I do kind of make a mental note of it and keep it in mind that like if the opportunity presents itself for me to get one, then I will try to do so. Kind of thing. Invited by Army Painter to paint their dragon miniature. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but you can message me, Revan. Do I have a big display area for all the models? No, I don't. I have a handful of kits on display like here in my office, but it's pretty much just because of the fact that I don't have anywhere else to put them. I actually just a few days ago, I went to IKEA because there's a couple of things that I wanted to get for my new office space. And one of the things that I did get while I was there was actually a display cabinet for like my finished painted models. Because before, in the past, I usually would always like just be selling them. But that was because like I was in Korea and I didn't really have like a good place to display anything. So, and I didn't have like, oh, that's strange. Hang on. I didn't have that attachment. Anyway, I didn't feel bad about selling them anyway. But kind of more recently, and like I think in like the past couple of years, now since being here, I have actually a little bit felt like, I actually do kind of wish that I maybe wouldn't have got rid of all of those kits. Like, because I was more so like, I wasn't really selling them because I like really needed the money or something like that. It was more so of just like building the kits and like making my custom work was like, that's what I wanted to do. And after doing that, like actually owning the kit was not necessarily something that I was like really interested in. I just wanted to make it. And then after I made it, basically that thing had fulfilled its use to me. And so I didn't really have an issue, too much issue selling stuff. But now I kind of would like to keep the stuff that I make, at least for now. And then, like, who knows, if I am ever in a situation where I do like really need the money, then, you know, I can make that decision if I do want to sell stuff at that time. But so long as I don't, then I kind of just want to just keep the stuff that I make. So anyway, I didn't have an actual like display cabinet or anything like that. So I got one at IKEA the other day, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it here or at home. It kind of depends on in my new office studio space. If there's space for the cabinet there, then I'll keep it here. But if there's not, then I'll have to make some space for it at home. So that's where I'm at on that. But no, for right now, I have a few, excuse me, I have a handful of model kits on display here, but just because I don't have anywhere else to put them for the moment, but that will change soon. Odd. Okay. More polycaps. Let's see. Those are good to have for comparison videos. Like the built and painted model kits, I don't really and wouldn't really want to use for comparison because they're not like, I mean, I could just like stand it up next to something, but I mean, they're not the kind of kit that I can just easily like hold in front of the camera, right? So for like comparison, like size comparison or something like that, model kits, it's much easier to use something else. Let's see. Okay, this is going to be another situation where it's kind of tricky to get the polycap into where it needs to go. So let's see. But what's up with you guys? You guys seen any good movies lately? I'm excited to see Alien Romulus next week. Hopefully I'll be able to see it next week. Actually, my wife still wants to see Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm kind of like, I could see it, but I also feel like I could just wait and watch it like on streaming later. I'm not like super pumped to go see it at the movie theater. But have you guys seen it? Would you recommend going to see it in the movie theater, or like maybe not that much? What do you think? Alien Romulus, I definitely would like to see in the theater if possible. Oh, oops. Hang on. Got these little piston little tenderonis I gotta fit in here. Feel like I'm going pretty good on time, but also feel like it's just a long build, man. One thing I can say about these kits that I always say is that they're some of the longest builds, man. Zoids kits, these HMM Zoids kits in particular, I guess to be clear. It's not so much the case with the Takara kits, but with these, man. You absolutely have to see Deadpool Wolverine in the theater. It's so funny. Okay, Julius. Is Alien non-woke like Wolverine? Oh, I don't know. And I certainly am not worried about it being woke, I'll say, but let me see. don't know. Yeah, so I've seen like the trailer for Alien Romulus, which I'm very glad like doesn't really give away, at least the trailer that I've seen. I don't know, maybe there's another trailer, but like the teaser trailer or whatever little I have seen about it gives like nothing away about the actual pull out of the movie, which I love, because I talked about this on the last live stream. I feel like that very excited to go into a blind, because from the trailer it doesn't look like it has anything to do with the past two movies, which in a way is kind of disappointing, because I like want to see like what happens more like with David and all that, the continuation of Alien Covenant. But based on the trailer, I'm not sure if that's where we're going with this, or if it's something completely different. So I don't know. And if you guys know, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I want to go into it not knowing. But I feel like if it's not related to Alien Covenant at all, I feel like it's going to be a bit disappointing for me, because I am interested. I'm invested. I want to know what happens with that story. And if it's something just completely unrelated, I feel like I will be a little bit disappointed, not because of the fact that it's not a continuation of the story, as I just mentioned, but I feel like it's also going to be disappointing to me a little bit just because of the fact that it's something that, I mean, it looks like it's going to give you all like everything that you're looking for from an Alien movie, like all the alien action and all that, which is all cool. But like I want like a story that I'm interested in too. But I don't know. I guess like the original Alien movie didn't have any story that it was connected to, but it was the originator of the story right now. And we have so much established story. I feel like that's also partly why Alien vs Predator was so meh, was because it wasn't like meaningfully connected to anything good in this story, anything interesting in like the more overall storyline. So end up just being kind of cheesy and campy and kind of overall dumb kind of movie. Am I missing something here? I feel like I'm missing a part, but I guess not. Okay. Anyway, yeah, need some more deep alien lore. Exactly. And I feel like there's it's like Star Wars, right? You have all these like comics and side stories and all this like deep lore that they could dive into and like be super interesting, like for the fans. But then also, I mean, like it just makes for a compelling story, and who's not going to like that? I mean, the hardcore fans will be into it. But I mean, it's just good material to draw from anyway. But I don't know. Yeah, you know how it goes with like studio execs and just kind of being worried that like the audience isn't going to get it or whatever. It's always the trouble, isn't it? Let's see. What the Oh. Whew. I thought I put those parts on like wrong or something somehow. And I was going to have to take those painted parts apart, which was not going to be easy because that was like a struggle to get those on. Fortunately, it wasn't my mistake. It wasn't anyone's mistake. I just was looking at it the wrong way. Isn't that allegorical? All right, so this part, which I've been building, and I think I talked about this in the last live stream too, that like sometimes when building a section of this kit, like I'm familiar with the individual parts just because I've been working on them. Like I went through the manual and cut out all the parts, and then I went through and removed all the nubs and did all that, everything that I've done on the on the kit so far, but I didn't really know exactly how it all fits together until I'm actually doing it. And so it's interesting now, like, yeah, actually putting this together and actually seeing it take shape, where I just couldn't really like picture exactly how this was actually all going to go together previously on this build. So it's cool to see it come together. Like, oh, this is the like ankle part. Hey, is the migration to the new store going to be done by early September? Well, it should be done by Saturday, ideally. So, yes. As far as the store, though, that is a good question, like the actual store. That could, so like everything, the priority is getting everything moved over for the warehouse and like the online business to be functional first. And then we're going to be figuring out like how the move of the storefront's going to be, how the new storefront's going to be, and all that is going to be like secondary. So, yeah, I don't know. It should be up and running by September, yes, but I guess stay posted. I would imagine that it will be at least up and running, yes, possibly not necessarily finished, though. As in, like, there still might be more work to do to really get it into kind of how we want it. But at the very least, it'll be like open and you'll be able to go. You'll be able to come in and shop if you want to. That's different. Not quite what I was expecting there. Let's see. Ooh-dee-doo. Where's those parts? Where are those parts? In the wrong section somewhere. Hang on. There's a lot of parts here, guys, so bear with me if a couple of them end up in the wrong spot. And I think I do see another part that's going to have to be touched up a bit. So, wait, is that supposed to be like that? Let's see. So yeah, today the goal is, and we'll see if we get there or not. It's maybe not looking like it, that we'll finish the build, but the goal would be just to finish the build for now. And then, but there's still going to be some more work to do. Ouch, that hurt. To really finish everything up entirely. This kit, if you guys recall, it does include waterslide decals. So I do want to put some of the decals on. But yeah, if you guys saw the unboxing video, you saw that although this does include waterslide decals, it doesn't come with an actual decal guide as to where to actually put them. So you just kind of, you're left to just kind of figure it out and put them on however you want, which is fine. But yeah, so I'll have to do that. And possibly maybe do like a little bit of weathering or something on it too, I'm considering, but I'm not entirely sure yet. Okay, so that's one of the feet, and what a foot it is. Oh my. One spot I didn't do any of the panel lining as much as I could avoid it was on like the bottom of the feet, because I know that there ain't no way that that's going to be visible at all to anyone. I think that this foot can now be put onto here. Oh Lord! I don't like that. There we go. Woo. Sticky icky. It's quite the foot. Right. Let's make the other one. Anyway. Will you live stream the water decal and weathering process? I don't think so. I wasn't planning on it. Because just, slapping on a few decals, maybe, definitely not talking about anything like too extensive when it comes to the weathering. Just maybe splashing a little bit of dirt, mud, sort of onto the legs kind of thing. Very minimal, probably. So no, I wasn't planning on live streaming that. What's going to happen to the existing store once all the move is done? Surplus storage or tear it down? Neither. So we don't own the current building that we're in. So it will just be up to the landlord, the building owner, to rent it to somebody else, which I don't believe they have anyone lined up at the moment to come in here, which I suspect is part of the reason why it took so long to get the new warehouse up and ready for us, because they didn't want to be stuck with a empty building and no one paying rent there. Just my suspicion, but yeah. Now, strangely, I got these parts here. Just building the other foot now here before we move on to the... there's not much left after the foot. It's not a whole lot left to do of the leg. It's basically just building this is all ×2, the lower leg and the foot. And then it's just like the top part of the leg, which is different for the left and the right side. So that we will get to in a moment. But this, let's see, right. And Mega Size RX-782 and Zaku's get reprinted too. Hey, I'm always looking forward to some Mega Size reprints, for sure. What I would love to see get reprinted is the Mega Size age kits, but as far as I know, those aren't on the reprint list. Just the Gundam, the Zaku, and possibly maybe the Unicorn. I don't even know, but I can assume that Unicorn might also be on there. But Bandai's got no faith in the age kit being able to sell well enough, apparently. I'm going to do this a little differently. Oh, man. Maybe. It is the Gojulas. and it's kind of almost done. At least the main body. Then the cannons. I mean, the cannons aren't, again, in theory, shouldn't take too long, but even the cannons are certainly parts heavy compared to what you might expect for like a Gundam kit or something. I don't know. We got plenty of parts, plenty of stuff to put together for the cannons as well. Let's not forget these little gold bits here. And gotta say, not a fan of the design of the toes. I don't know why they're not sharp and pointed like the hands, or like the claws. Like sharp and pointy, sort of like, I don't know, at least somewhat dinosaur-esque. These parts, not so much. The toes, anyway. But I guess, I mean, realistically thinking, I mean, it does kind of probably make more sense realistically for them to be more utilitarian as like just big supporter. Basically, the feet just need to support like a huge weight, right? And so the feet can be kind of a bit more utilitarian. Let's see. MGSD, yeah. What's the deal with MGSD? What's the next one supposed to be? We don't even know, right? It hasn't been announced yet what the next MGSD is going to be. As far as I can remember, we don't know what the next MGSD is going to be. We don't know what the next MGEX. That's what I was trying to think of. Let's see. PC 27. There's a lot of unknowns at the moment. We got the... Oh, someone was asking earlier when I'm going to get my RX-78 2.0. I'm not sure, actually. As soon as possible, I hope. But it may not be as quick as you and I would both like. But that's sometimes how it goes. Sometimes I'm able to get stuff quickly. Sometimes, just like all you guys, sometimes have to end up waiting a little bit for certain stuff. If you want to blame anybody for the rollout of releases, we all know who to blame. I'm not naming names, but retail stores can only get it as fast as it's sent out to them. Let me just say that. PC 13, we need that, yeah. When do you think the HG Psycho Gundam Mark II is coming? Yeah, my guess was that that's going to be like our big December kit. Although we haven't seen much about that lately. I think that I don't know, what's the next like big hobby show? The All Japan Hobby Show, I feel like, is kind of soon-ish, isn't it? Isn't that usually August or September? I feel like around this time of the year, we normally get like another big drop. You know, it's been a little bit odd since Bandai transitioned from, just kind of dropping news here and there. And now they wait until like a big event and they do their next phase hobby thing where they like drop a bunch of announcements all at once. And so it's been a little while since the last one, and I feel like this time of the year is normally when we're getting when we should get an update. So hopefully sometime soon we'll maybe see some more news about both stuff that we know about, like the Psycho Gundam Mark II, and then hopefully some new exciting stuff about something new. I don't know. All right. We're almost through with all of the orange pieces for the kit. We will be here in just a second, actually. That'll be a wrap on all of the orange pieces. If copyright law can be damned, I wish for a PG VF1S. Well, I mean, Bandai's making Macross kits, so apparently they can make them. So if they can make HGs, then there's nothing stopping them from making PGs, in theory, as far as I know. I mean, it could be, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine there would be anything that would stop them from being able to make something like that, but maybe you guys are hip to something that I'm not aware of. I was gonna say maybe it's just like a part of their contract, but they wouldn't. I don't know how that would work, because it's not like they have a contract for the rights to make the kits. It's more so that, like, here in the West, it's an issue of being able to sell the kits. Here has been an issue in the past, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But that could be part of the reason why we don't have like a perfect grade Macross kit, is just due to the fact that it could cause issues for international sales. And although that's only, a small percent compared to their primary market, which is Japan, which they obviously wouldn't have any issues there, it's still I don't know, maybe a big enough percent that it's something that they would have to kind of take into consideration if it's really worth investing into producing a kit like that, that they might run into trouble trying to sell it to certain markets. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's the part we forgot to make. Let's see. Forgot to put this part together here. Will you be picking up the new Gundam Breaker 4 game? So no, I don't really do much gaming at all, and so that includes Gundam gaming. Although I did play a Gundam game recently for the first time in a long time, and that was the old side story Dreamcast game. If you guys have never played that, oh boy, let me tell you, it's an interesting experience. Not a fun game at all, in my opinion, but I feel like it's one of those games that, like, you kind of have to really be dedicated to, like, really actually getting good at the game, because just like the first time playing it, it just sucks. But you kind of have to invest a little bit of time and effort into actually, like, trying to get good at the game. So I mean, hey, there's some people that complain that there's not enough learning curve in video games these days, that they're too easy. So if you're that kind of person, then I would recommend you try out the old Gundam side story Dreamcast game. Certainly a bit of a learning curve with that game. Picked me up the PG Banshee Norn Final Battle with the LED set last week. Haven't built a kit with LEDs before. You'll enjoy it. It's a good looking kit. It's a long build. I mean, this is a long build, but the PG Unicorn is, in any of its variations, is definitely one of the longest. I feel like one of the longest Gundam builds that you can do. and especially with the LED set, it's going to take you a little while, but just take your time with it. You'll enjoy it. I can't tell you how many times I've got messages from people asking about like what the difficulty is like working on a kit, usually a PG kit, but there's either like a PG Exia or PG Unicorn or MGEX Unicorn. Anyway, a kit with LEDs, and someone message asking, like, or just like kind of saying that they're nervous about making it because they've never built a kit with LEDs before, or they're kind of nervous, especially because it's expensive. They don't want to break anything, et cetera, et cetera. So I would just tell you the same thing that I tell anybody else who messages me with those concerns: is just take it slow, follow the instructions, you'll be fine. It's nothing too complicated about it. Oh, the other fun thing that I was doing yesterday. So when I got home from work, one of the things, I'm not exactly sure how I'm ultimately going to use this idea, but one of the ideas I have for my new office space, my new studio, is to use some like recycled wood from pallets. So obviously, we have a bunch of pallets here that we go through, and just like taking apart all the wood and then just using that for like either a wall as like some kind of background or something like that, just to get that like vintage recycled wood kind of aesthetic, right? So yesterday I took a couple of pallets home and I was working on pulling the wood apart. And if you guys ever tried that before, you know that it's not easy. Not as easy as you might think, anyway. Yeah. So let's see, that is not the right part. I've got these parts switched around. Yeah, it's challenging. Those pallets are obviously made to be pretty durable, and so if you're intending to pull them apart, it's not easy. So anyway, but I've done it before, and so I know kind of how to go about it. I don't know if it's necessarily the best way, but anyway, I have a method, and I was doing that yesterday, and basically what I do is use two hammers, use like the back end of the hammer, like wedge it in, and then just hammer it with the other hammer to pry up the nails, to pry everything apart. And while I was doing that, I felt like a chip of something. Anyway, like I assumed it was just like a little bit of the hammer or a piece of wood or something. Like when I was hammering, like something flew up and hit me in the chest. Anyway, I didn't know what it was. I figured it was just a little piece of wood or something. It kind of hurt, but I didn't really expect that it was anything like that bad. And then shortly after, like later, when it was time to go in and have dinner, went in, and it still like kind of stung a little bit. So I was like, oh, I'll go in and check this out in the bathroom. I went in. Right around there was a big blood spot there, so it had been bleeding the whole time. I hadn't noticed. So yeah, took some battle damage, some shrapnel to the chest while I was prying apart the pallets yesterday. So that was fun. And then went out and after dinner and was doing some more because I wasn't finished yet. And it happened again. So it's like, all right, gonna have to be a little bit more careful, I guess. Because yeah, then the second time it happened again, like I just felt like a little sting here in my chest and didn't think too much of it. And then when I was actually done later, I went in to go take a shower. There was actually a little tiny piece of metal still like stuck in my chest right here. Yeah, broken off from the hammer. So, geez. Hopefully I don't have tetanus or anything. Yeah. Now, when did we put those parts on? I'm wondering. I missed that. Okay. So who knows? By this time next week, I could be in the hospital, and you guys will know what it was that took me down. But I don't know. No, should be fine. But it was odd. All right. So here's our knee, kind of, sort of, for one of our legs here. Get that pushed into there. And then this one then should be like this. Okay, yep, these are the right parts. For some reason, I got the left side and the right side parts in the wrong spot here on my container, but that's all right. We're figuring it out. And let's see, that's upside down. That goes like that. It's like that. And this goes here. Okay. And we close that up. All right. Man. All right, here we go. And we'll put this on here, and then we're done with this leg. What a process. Good grief. Oh, I was thinking this is the right leg. In fact, it's the left leg. So I did kind of have the parts in the right spot, sort of. So I normally put the right parts for like the right leg first in like the way I have everything like here in my organizer box. Normally have the right leg first because most Gunpla usually follow that. They usually have the right leg first. But yeah, Kotobukiya sometimes switches it up for some reason. They have like the left side first. They just like to be different, I think. The Gojulas really is a beefy lad. I mean, yes, here, that's one of the legs. I don't know if you can see, like, compared to my face. Why is my camera so small? Just realized that. I should be big. There we go. Tiny there in the corner, but yeah, it is a beefy leg, yes. And so I'm gonna wait. Don't want to put that on the kit quite yet until we can put both legs on, because then he's like gonna be standing weird. All right. End is near. And yeah, we're probably not going to finish the cannons, although let's see, we're getting close. I feel like we're making good time, but we may not finish the cannons, but I'm going to do my best here, so bear with me. If Zach made his own paint brand, will it be called Aurelius Paints or Zach Paints? Neither. I'm not sure. I haven't really thought too much about it, and honestly, I'm not interested in it. To be perfectly frank with you guys, and I apologize to anyone in the audience who does have their own brand of paints or aspires to have their own brand of paints or their own line of paints from a particular paint brand or something like that. But for me, it's just very gimmicky. I just don't really have an interest in that. It's, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I guess that's all I really have to say about it. It's very gimmicky. I don't know. It's not something that I'm interested in. It's like, for me, I would want to, like, if I'm going to have something like branded with my name on it, whatever, like something that I'm hawking to people, I would want it to be like good or useful in some way. And for me, like, good, when it comes to like paints, tools, and like I'm using good and useful synonymously, because I don't know, I feel like that makes sense. Don't feel like I need to explain that, but yeah. And we have a lot of great paints available already. Like, when you see like people, and I'm not going to name any names, and because this is not meant to throw shade or whatever the kids like to say, but like content creators in particular that like have their own branded paints or whatever, it's not, without having used them myself, I can't say with absolute certainty, but my sense is that they're not paints that are really anything better than what you can already get from, Mr. Hobby, Gaia Notes, even like AK, MIG, whatever. I mean, like, we already have a lot of great paint options available. Anything else that people come out with, whether it be like from a creator or from some new brand or something like that, is honestly just kind of, it's either literally or figuratively, and in many cases, just from what kind of insider knowledge I have, in many cases it is literally just repackaging the exact same stuff that you can already get from, other companies. Which, hey, if you can do that, and if you can sell it, I mean, more power to you. That's just free money sitting there on the table that I could be making, selling rebranded, rebottled paints to you guys. But I don't know, I just don't really have an interest in doing that. So if you guys want paints, I could recommend you the brands that I enjoy, and that's what I would recommend you go for. But yeah, maybe that's why I'm not a more successful marketer, perhaps. Whew, man. So with this last part, the main kit is now complete. Well, as soon as I get this put together on here. But I don't want to dwell on that too much, because like I said, I do want to try to get the cannon built here. So let me grab the kit. We'll put the legs on. What's that, Irvin? So a Zach cordless airbrush. So yeah, like the same thing goes for airbrushes, paint brushes, anything else like glass files, branded stuff like that. I mean, it's just a gimmick. I mean, it's the same thing you can get, but again, that's capitalism, baby. If you can get people to buy it, then there you go. All right, look at this, boy. All right, hang on, let me change the camera here. All right, there. Well, yeah, we'll just stick with this camera here for a moment. Look at this, and well, let's see. What do I have nearby that I can pick up easily? Here's my 1/44 scale Gundam for a size comparison. This is about the same height as the leg of the Gojulas here. So it's pretty big. Oh, damn it. See, this is why I didn't want to pick up that kit, because now it's like the knees bend is not going to stand back up again. I have to adjust that. All right, there we go. All right, so anyway, yep, there's the Gojulas. It is large and very in charge. But why stop there when it can get larger? Let's build the cannons. And sadly, the cannons do not feature any more orange parts. So if that beautiful, bold, and not so bright orange color, we can say adieu. And we can also say adieu to these polycaps, which I think we used all but one. Let me just double check the manual. I mean, the build's done now. I'm not going to take it apart to try to fit in some polycap that I missed somewhere that obviously didn't need. What is that? Polycap 21? It's not. Oh, wait. It's not crossed off in the manual, which means maybe we were supposed to use this somewhere. Let's see. And I missed it somewhere. Well, that's different. So somewhere we were supposed to use this polycap. I guess either that or they just don't have it crossed off in the manual. That's interesting. Wonder how it compares to the HD Destroy Gundam. I'm not sure about that. It is a big kit. Yeah, that orange is really lovely. Yes, thank you. I think so too. I was really glad with how that turned out. I think I knew ahead of time, like going into building this kit, I knew like it's gonna be a very lengthy process. It's gonna take forever. It's gonna be huge. Do I really want to make more work for myself? I knew there was no way I was gonna like do like a fully painted build of like the whole thing. God, I can't imagine. So I knew that was not happening. But yeah, I was thinking like, well, maybe I can just repaint some of the parts. Actually, like originally, I probably wasn't even thinking that. I was probably just thinking like maybe I'll just do some panel lining on it just to make it look nice. Put the decals on it, and then just, that's all. But yeah, obviously decided to. I thought, well, yeah, I'll just repaint some of the colors because honestly, I'm just not really a fan of the blue color for this kit straight out of the box. So yeah, just very glad that ended up making that call. To repaint the orange. I think the orange looks so much better. The blue is just, I mean, it just looked very boring. I don't know. But I think it's going to look really cool with the cannons. And this part, obviously, is not the main cannons on the back. This is the parts here for the inside. Let's see. For the like arm-mounted shield gun, very similar to like the Goof's gun, actually. This part, this handle part, I feel like is very optional. Shot cannon. I think for the Gojulas we maybe don't need the handle part. Can one of you guys look real quick? For the Gojulas we don't include like this handle part, right? I feel like if I put this on, then it's not actually even going to fit on the kit. So I'm gonna not put that on for the moment. I feel like that's for like if you wanted to use this with a different kit or something. Because it's quite interesting how in the manual for this set, even though this set is like from and for the Gojulas, for some reason, like in the manual, they don't actually show you how to equip this onto the Gojulas. They show you how there is a picture of it on the Gojulas here, which let me see. It does have the handle. Oh yeah, okay, it does. And the handle's meant to be like in the hand. Okay. Okay, I got it. But yeah, in the manual, it doesn't really show you how to actually equip it on the Gojulas, which is interesting. Shows you how to put it onto other Zoids. So I guess they figure, I don't know, if you're getting this, if you're wanting the cannons with the Gojulas, then you will get like the ogre version of it or something. I don't know. Don't know. Okay, so that's that part. That's that part there for the side of the arm, which yeah, it's a very cool weapon. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're very short on time, so let's try to get this slamming. All right. One of you guys take over in the chat for me so I can just focus and try to get this done here real quick. Will that work or what? I guess that probably won't work, huh? Need someone else to hop on the call. Chris, I need you. Where's Chris Pabs when I need him the most? Polycaps? Question mark. This set has a polycap runner. Where would that be? Oh, you're in the box. Okay. This box stinks. I don't know. Just like a musty cardboard box stink, not like anything else too strange. But anyway, PCE. Two of these. Goes in here. I'll tell you guys, certainly the other challenge with this kit, aside from it just having a million parts and being massive, is then what do you do with the damn thing? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to put this. Oh, that's a bridge we will have to cross. All right. I am both trying to keep an eye on the chat and simultaneously trying to focus on getting this done if we can. So appreciate y'all. Oh, that's supposed to go in first, huh? Okay. That goes there. This one goes here. Times a million. No, but this one goes in there. Come on, don't do this to me. Not now. It'll be a centerpiece of the background. Yeah, I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. It's just too big. I don't know if I necessarily want to keep it in my office. And even to have it like in the storefront display, it just takes up so much space. But I feel like that's probably where it's going to be. Yeah. Okay. After this, after putting all these little piston detailed parts in here, next we're going to go to this part, which is also going to be ×2. So let's go ahead and load up 2 of those. And then we need this part, which is going to go in there second after the other part, which is this one, right? Yep, that goes there on the bottom. Ouch. Like that. And this one here. Like that. Then this one inside there. Comics Legend, how could you give me such a long comment to read? Julius, yes, my kids would love to play with it, but no, they will not be allowed to play with it. No. But they have, they've known that I've been working on it, so I'm sure they'll be excited to just see it done. I'll definitely show it to them. But no, they will not be allowed to play with it. I can already tell, to be honest, I can already tell it's going to have a little bit of like what some of the H&M Zoids kits have, and like it's a little bit unstable in certain parts. Can already tell it's like going to be a little bit like that, and I'm probably going to have to glue and or reinforce some joints, which, like I said, is something that I will work on after this. So like today's focus is just finishing up the main build, and then there will be some more work to do, which will be certainly not very much detail painting, but a couple little bits where just like, especially on like the orange painted parts, there's a couple of parts where like I missed a couple of spots because I was painting the parts in orange before really knowing how they ultimately really are going to fit together. Oh, damn it. There is a certain way that this one needs to go in there, and hopefully I got that one right. I did. Yeah, there'll be some more work to do anyway after this before it's done. But then when it's done, oh, it'll be a time to celebrate. We can celebrate in the new office space, new studio. We can celebrate the completion of this gigantic kit. Completion as much as it was ever going to be completed by me. Like I said, I never had the intention of wanting to go through with like fully painting and all that. Kit like this. I believe, as a wise old woman once said, ain't nobody got time for that. Get on there. Okay. Really? There we go. Oof. All right. We're getting close. And I'm also very interested to see just how massive the cannons are ultimately going to be, because it's just in sections. And of course, I mean, you can see like in the photos, but it's kind of one of those things, it's hard to like really get a true sense of it until you've actually got it actually built and in hand, just how big it is. So it'll be interesting to see, because yeah, it's kind of hard to tell just based off of just the sections of it that we have so far at the moment. Sorry, comics, I can't read your comment. quite yet. That's the back end of the cannon here. Done and done. Next page. Come on, we can do this. Go away. Out of the way. Oh, and of course, one of the other things that needs to be done on this is, well, yeah, probably, spraying some top coat. I do also then ultimately want to spray some top coat on it, which will look good, but also will require not a lot of masking, but there's a number of clear parts. There's a lot of little clear parts around on the kit that need to be covered up to not be sprayed with the top coat. So yeah, that'll be a little bit of a masking chore. So still like a fair amount of work to be done, and not like anything too intensive, but still plenty left to do. Polycap C. So I'm also going to be ×2. Okay. C. Yes, I'm in the flow. Yeah, trying to be. So I would really love to show this. All done. That's what part is that? This one. This one's also going to be ×2. Okay, good. But the problem is, where'd that polycap go that I just cut off? Not far. Good. All right. We're almost there, y'all. Can you feel it? Well, I feel like at this point, I mean, the kit is essentially done, but this is sort of the icing on the cake. Speaking of which, I would love to have some cake or something. I actually didn't have lunch today, which could be why I'm honestly feeling a bit kind of woozy. Not woozy, but I feel like I didn't have lunch today. Let's just say that. Because I was just focused on trying to get this done and ready. But oh boy, once this is done, I'll be hitting the beer tonight, boy. It's moving day tomorrow. Big day. The first moving day tomorrow. Come on now. Other than size and price, is there anything you want to warn about with this kit? Like I said, I feel like there's, not having really handled it a whole lot quite yet and completed, I feel like there's probably a few parts that are a little bit, like janky is maybe too negative a word for it, but wobbly, maybe. With a big kit like this, I mean, it's easy to imagine. Oh my God. There we go. Easy to imagine that it might have some weight issues, but I don't know at this point really quite yet the extent of how much that's really an issue or not. We shall see. Wow. Oof. So that goes there. That goes there. Excuse me? Come on now. Come on. There we go. Okay, what's the deal? There's that one peg that's just not wanting to cooperate. All right, let's do the other one here real quick. Got that, and that should be everything. Let's see. Based on this, is that supposed to be inside there? It is. Okay. Well, this one didn't have any trouble. Oh, I see the problem. Yep. Come on now. Gonna be getting down to the wire here. Like I said, at the very least, I'm just very much looking forward to seeing how these cannons look IRL. That's another part I feel like could be kind of loose later. This little part right here that fits over the camera cover, kind of little part right there. Lock and load. Okay, we're good? No, yeah, I still need this part. Like that. This one here. This one here. Nice one, Patrick. All right, cannon time. Yes, we're finally building the barrels. At long last, we can do a barrel roll. Hmm. Ah. Come on, don't do this to me. What's first? These gold parts. And this part. Oh, hello. There you go. There's our kind of main cannon length. Sort of. Honestly, it's huge, but I've seen huger. The Dendrobium's cannons are much longer. Cannon, I should say. Only has the one, but it's much longer. A bit more impressive, I gotta say. This one is like 10 times the amount of parts, if not more, compared to the Dendrobium. But the Dendrobium certainly got the size advantage. And of course, got our connection arms and more polycaps. Damn. D. Uh-oh. It's gonna go here. Come on. And this. Huh. Okay. Interesting. And by interesting, I mean annoying. Zip, zip, zip. It's that little guy. And then we make one more. Put it in Gerwalk mode. What? Aren't you talking about the RX 78 2.0 RG? We talk about in Gerwalk mode. Yeah, like I missed a part of that conversation. All right. Mang, let's go. This is still ×2. Okay. And I don't think that necessarily matters, but okay. Just that. And that. Of course, this one's not ×2. And will you guys ever restock the Gojulas the Ogre again? If Kotobukiya reprints it again, yeah. Or if Kotobukiya, like there's been times when like they'll stumble across additional stock of a particular kit that like they like just found more stock of it than they thought they had or something like that. That happens from time to time. So yeah, it's entirely possible. Okay. Right. Oh my God. Ugh. It would be like one of the last parts that's really giving me a hard time here. Ouch. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry I cursed you. Oh, damn it. Well, fortunately, it's not really very visible. It's like a part on this inside of here that like I panel lined one side. I think it's the wrong side, but okay. Now, how do we actually attach these onto the Gojulas is the question. Because I'm not entirely sure. But let's move this stuff out the way. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Ouch. Yo! It's Gojulas time. How do we do this? Let's see. So I think these just fit right onto there. Let me just check. Let's just kind of refer to the photos in here since I don't really have anything else to go off of. I think that's right. Interesting. I think I'm gonna have to bear with me a moment. Let's see. Whoop. Two things. You do this here real quick. I'm gonna go to. I think Dalong has the manual for the ogre. Zoids. I can just check the instructions for the ogre. Yes. Let's see if I can just find the right page here real quick. Let's see. Yup. As I expected. So actually we have to take off these parts. Okay, so I got it. Let's got to take off these parts. Ooh. And put this in between. Oh boy. Oof. And then put this back on. So let me see here. I can also go ahead and put that one into place there like that. And this one here like that. And these ones go here like that. It's not really a good place. I know, like, you guys can't hardly see what's really going on here, but hang on. Bear with me. Don't drop that piece. So the other thing that'll need to be adjusted is the pose, of course. But we can get to that. Alrighty. Good. Why did that piece fall off? Don't be falling off now. Come on now. That goes on there. Just trying to adjust this cannon without moving everything on the backpack. There we go. Something like that. And for the arm, is this actually meant to plug onto the hand? Back to the instructions. Yep, here we go. Dalong, a real lifesaver as always. This just plugs right on here onto the side of the hand. What about that? Like little cannon. Guess that just stays in there like that. All right. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. Simply incredible. All right, let me just Get this here, something like that. Yeah, doing like a kind of roaring or like kind of more, not like the old school T-Rex pose, but like I can actually like kind of like more modern T-Rex pose. According to like promo photos of the kit, you can actually do it in theory. Oh no, my camera just died. Like literally right when I'm just about to show you the finished product. Seriously? All right, let me switch this battery here real quick. Just in the nick of time, man. What a day it's been. So like I told you, I've been working on the parts to get this thing ready to live build all day. Well, that's true. And I like just finished like right before going live. And now I'm just finishing like right at like 5 o'clock. So this is one thing I'm noticing. The tail parts tend to keep wanting to fall off. I can't really show it to you guys very well, but hang on. Ugh. There he is, like that, like that. Oh, I don't know. I'll just switch the camera here. Hang on, might be easier. And once again, I realize only now at the very end of the stream that I forgot to put music on for you guys the entire time. But here it is, all done with the cannons and everything. Incredible. Well, like I said, done for now. I'm gonna go ahead, put some decals on, maybe a little bit of mud splash, a little bit of more kind of detail work, a little bit more touch-up work, kind of maybe here and there. But that's pretty much done. So there you go. The one and only ever HMM Gojulas in orange. It's one of a kind, baby. All right, so there you go. I got to wrap it up. I got to run. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for being so awesome. Thank you so much for your support. And yeah, last live stream here in this studio. Next live stream will be over there. And next week, I'll try to have some updates for you guys as the process is moving along to kind of share with you guys how the move is going and all that. But till then, have a great rest of your day, guys. And also stay tuned to the USA Gundam TV channel on YouTube, because over the next couple of days while we're doing the moving, I'll be posting some update stuff on there as well as just like all the other USA Gundam Store social media. But like on the USA Gundam TV YouTube channel, I'll maybe like try to post some shorts and stuff like that of like the moving process, how that's going. So it'll be a fun day tomorrow, and gonna be a hot day tomorrow too, but looking forward to it. See you guys later. Bye.